Well, hello there. So I thought I'd just give you a quick little view of the garden. This is the sand garden, and this is about 8 to 10 inches of Ballyluss dust on top of hardcore. And it's just my little tribute or trial, following on from a visit to Peter Corns. Amazing sand garden, so I thought I'd just give it a go. You can see it in there. I mean, there is the most amazing, that thing, that's the erodium. You can see Nyphophilus, grasses, what do you call those things? Foxgloves. My poor old aeoniums were slaughtered last year in the wind, in the cold. I never brought them in. But also, can you see that's a pampas grass there? Isn't that pampas grass? Brilliant. And herbaceous, look, that I can't remember what it is. I think it is a clover, one of those ornamental clovers. And then there's a sea lavender down there as well. So happy out, no soil whatsoever. You wash the soil off the plants before you put them in. Actually, I thought euphorbias would do very, very well, but they don't. They're one of the ones that actually don't. So that euphorbia has struggled, and that one has struggled even more. And I'm kind of half wondering, is it the dog peeing on them? Which it could actually be. So that may not be sand, that might actually be the dog. Anyway, so if we go up here, you'll see barbecue, and then there's a lovely yellow rambling rose there. It is a really good flower, but it's short seasoned. It only lasts, just, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, that's about it, and then doesn't repeat flower. Actually, I often thought, I wonder, if I cut it back, would it repeat flower? But anyway, so a little seating area there. And then we come down we'll go to the kind of shady side first. So you can see there is Myrtus communis that I kind of just lifted up. It was a big blobby shrub, so I lifted it up, and it needs another do now. It needs another haircut to sort of just try and cloud prune it a little bit. There's some nice geraniums in that bed, more telectrums, loads of telectrums. I love telectrums. That particular one there is Telectrum flavum glaucum, and then you can see there's also various amounts of Babington leeks in there. There is an what do you call that now? It used to be called Sanguisorba. No, it wasn't Sanguisorba. Actia. And it has self-seeded everywhere. So that is just gone everywhere in that bed. And then there's Rogersia in there, lovely Rogersia. A nice Daphne there. And then this is so my garden is south-facing, but as you know, in a south-facing garden, there is a lot of north-facing walls. So growing up here is I'll stand back a little bit that you can see it, that's the Tetrapanax. And underneath that then there's a Fatsia in there, that lovely Fatsia that I was telling you about. Some podophyllums. See the podophyllum in there? Yeah. That is a variegated daylily. Well, it was variegated. It's gone a bit, I don't know what's happened to it. More bits and pieces in there. So that's that lovely Hacknacloa grass. Do you know that one, Hacknacloa? Aura, that one is, I think. And in here there is gaps, big gaps in here that I'm going to have to sort out. The understory is not really working very well in there, tall, so we have to sort that out. There is impatiens in there, and lovely ferns, and that's a tree fern there then, the big guy, and various other bits and pieces in containers, shade loving plants. And if we move on down here a little bit, there is this is a shady bed. It'll come a bit bigger now later on, but you can see there's a few lovely bits and pieces in there. That is a Solomon seal, a variegated Solomon seal. And then this is a lovely begonia that's been eaten a bit now at the moment, but that begonia is sycamensis. And what else do we have in there? There's a Francoa in there. A few other bits and pieces, kind of unusual begonias in there. There's another big begonia in there as well. So there's various bits and pieces and ferns. And then this ground cover is Galium odoratum, which is absolutely gorgeous, sweet woodruff. A few other bits and pieces. There's my epoxy. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. That my lovely bamboo that I really don't like anymore. Tall. But I wanted to show you just something on the bamboo. The job hasn't been done yet, but I cleaned this bamboo down. So I strip all the leaves down off the lower bits. And I just wanted to show you, if you get in quick enough, you can, let's see now, let me find one that actually hasn't got. So if you pull off the sheet of that, now you see, and you see down here, there is the little side growth. So with your nail or with a fork or a knife, if you just pick that out and make sure it's nice and clean, that will stop any side shoots growing. And what I mean by side shoots, you can see this one has gone ahead and done it. Do you see that? So there are the side shoots, and those side shoots then grow into these kind of things, you know, which just makes the bamboo very bulky. So what I do is, and you'll see here, this is one I did last year. So if you cut out those small side groups, you get this lovely clean stem that doesn't have any scarring on it, which is really lovely if you do it properly. So that's a big job now that has to be done very, very shortly. So let's see, what else do we have here? There's a couple. Now, I wanted to just show you one other thing about the bamboo. It is, look at this, it's starting to flower. So, with any luck, that means that the blasted thing is going to die. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but it is ancient. It's about 20 years old now. And it's, you know, just with bamboos, they're dirty. They're a lot of work and they're just dirty. They flip and leave. I know they sound lovely and they are beautiful in a garden, but they do drop sheets everywhere and they're just messy. So it's going to go. And can I also point out that this is a non-spreader. It is a clump forming one, and it literally, wait till I see if I can see any, it literally lifts the copper lock. So non-spreader, my Barney. There's another lovely thing as well to show you. That is Pseudopanix latus. So again, another one of these lovely big shrubs that you can actually lift the crown on, which just gives that lovely top canopy. So if we just look over here then, this is the kiwi that has gone bananas. I normally prune that in about April or May, and again in winter time, but it is it's just, I forgot to do it and it's gone bananas, and now it's gone into flower and now I can't. So I'm just going to leave it be, but it does mean that come August, or come, you know, late in the season, it's going to be an awful job to actually get rid of. There is the lovely Crataegus Paul Scarlet, which is a great little tree. But again, in my garden, because my garden is so small, it is the wrong tree. Even though it's beautiful now at the moment, it just, it needs constant pruning to keep it in any sort of size that this garden can actually manage. What else do we have here? This is the spring bed, which, as you can see, has now gone over, and at the moment there is comfrey and sweet Sicily and mallows, and that's Cranberry cordifolia coming up there. So that's just gone a bit mad in here. Then, oh yeah, and also look at that beauty. Can you see that? That's Solomon seal. Absolutely beautiful plant. Much underused. So then, if we come back around here, I'll just show you a couple of bits and pieces. This is Amsonia, just about to come out, which is absolutely glorious. That is a ranunculus, a canitifolia, I think it is, or folium, which is a great one. See that one there? That's Silene dioica, which is red campion, and that was everywhere in Wales when we went over to see the gardens with Jimmy. A couple of other little bits and pieces. This is a Marticon lily, which is great little plant. Loads of Aquilesias. And if we come back around here, this is a Geranium palmatum or madarensis, can't tell which. I think it's palmatum, and that's the flower over there. So that goes, it's a great value plant. It does spread everywhere, but it's easy to pull out. But it is it's just a great plant for trying to bring some sort of continuance in the garden. We have various other little bits and pieces like the aeonium, kaffir lily, or schysostylus. Okay, I have to get the dog out of the bed because he's eating bloody grass. He's doing a bit of weeding for me, that's what he is, couch grass. So that is a beautiful ligularia, gorgeous ligularia. And then some, can you see there's a couple of little gaps in there now at the moment? That's because I did a bit of weeding, and I'll be putting in some dahlias in there and stuff like that. Daisy, get out of the bed. Some geums, that is a gorgeous perennial honesty, which is amazing. Jimmy gave me that one. And then this is a latyrus. It's an apricot flowered pea. Anyway, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You can see the salvia starting to come up here. And there's veronicastrum there. And then over here we have the beautiful, and look, isn't that just, that's what I love about honesty, is those beautiful seed heads that'll go silver, which is just gorgeous. So again, in this bed, there's loads of things like fennels, restios. Restio, can you see the restio there, the grass? Restio. There's loads of other bits and pieces like asters in here and heleniums. That is a lovely, really unusual, oh God, what's it called again? Let me see now. Chenophyllum, isn't it? Chenolophium. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's a lovely big umbellifer, which is really gorgeous. You can see the flowers on the, look at it, it's incredible. And there's my fig against the back wall, which has gone mad. And the dog, this is my mother's dog, and she's doing my head, and she's gone home today. Daisy, get out of the garden. Out. Good girl. And look, they have the place wrecked. But it does look a bit gappy at the moment because I'm after doing a load of cleaning. But that will fill in, because my whole thing with this bed is it has to be as densely planted as I possibly can so that I don't have to weed. That's my lazy gardener's approach. But there she is there, look at her. Hello, Daisy. You want to say hello? Good girlie. Good girlie. Yep, good girl. And then there's a few other little bits and pieces like pots. And that again all have to be sorted, and you know, just diddled up a little bit. So that's it there. Can you see that now if I put my hand over? Look, there she is there. Look at you getting all comfy. My fella's gone inside because he's too hot. Oh, I never showed you the tall fellas here are called Pseudopanix tuatara, and basically the interesting thing is that this is the juvenile leaf, and it changes completely once it gets to its adult form. But what I'm going to do is just keep those cut, keep them pollarded, or cut at least anyway, lollipopped into that sort of shape. And it just gives that extra dimension to the garden. Like, you can see how small the garden is. The garden's tiny. But just by having that extra little bit of dimension on it, it just adds a little bit of extra information, or, you know, a bit of extra kind of interest in it. That's it then. So that's the lot. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.